Hey guys, welcome back to the Inner Recesses of my mind, and today I just wanted to talk to you about something that I literally just saw a couple hours ago. It is 7/16/2025, and I finally got a chance to actually sit down and go watch the Superman movie. Saw it with my dad, and all I gotta say is worth it. It was worth it. Now, as you guys know, I don't really review movies like that. I usually just give my thoughts on certain things and just keep it moving afterwards. But I wanted to actually sit down and talk about this one because I've been seeing a lot of people online, especially a lot of people that are chronically online, talk about this movie, and where do I start? Well, Superman is not a complicated character. In fact, he's one of the most iconic superheroes in comic book history, next to Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, Captain America. Doesn't matter if it's DC, Marvel, sometimes even Image or other comic book publishers. Just know that Superman is an iconic person for a reason. Because he wants to help people, he wants to do good for good's sake. Not because he wants to get something in return or he can have like power over somebody. No, that's not the reason why Superman does what he does. He does it because, like I said, he's a genuinely good person. And a lot of people keep going after his character, especially non-comic book fans and stuff like that. Because lately I've been seeing the most wildest things online talking about what he's an immigrant, what? Tell me you've never seen this like read a comic book or seen a Superman movie without telling me you've never seen a Superman story or read a comic book. Just make it easier. Was it a perfect movie? Not really. Was it a fun movie? Yes. Was it a good movie? I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't, but everybody kept saying, there's a hidden agenda behind it and stuff like that. No. Maybe there was, but I went there as a Superman fan to go see a Superman and enjoy my time with it. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I got what I wanted, honestly. It was, in my opinion, I think this has to be one of like the best adaptations of Clark Kent ever, because this version, the guy that they got to play him was such a dork. In the good way, honestly. And I enjoyed it because he was unsure, especially after a specific part of the movie. I'm not going to do any spoilers and stuff like that because this is just my thoughts, and if you want to go see the movie, I highly suggest go seeing it for yourself. But I just want to say, our parents give us the tools so we can make mistakes and figure out life on our own once we're old enough. And in my opinion, I feel like this movie does something that we don't really see in a lot of like comic book movies, especially from the Snyderverse and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, Snyderverse version of Superman was not a bad character. No. He's actually a really good character. In fact, I actually like Henry Cavill as Superman. But this version, James Gunn's Superman, and honestly, in my opinion, it does something that I feel like needed to be pumped back into Superman. Hope. A heart, the feeling to care, the feeling to do the right thing, even when people think that you're not supposed to, or doing it for goodness sake, you know? And that's one of the things that I've always loved and admired about Superman. He doesn't maliciously go after people. He doesn't try to like hurt people intentionally. He wants to try to find a path where everyone can make it home or safe. And he cares. And for a specific moment in the movie where he starts to question himself, it's really interesting. And I've seen that in comic books a couple times, depending on which story you're reading. But my opinion, I feel like this one conveys the humanity that Superman actually has, because everybody thinks just for the fact that he is an immigrant, he's Kryptonian, he's an alien. The thing about it is, he's more human than a lot of people think, because he was raised amongst us. He knows the struggles that we go through. He sees everything that we see. His exact words in the movie: I get scared, I love, I feel, I get sad, I get happy. I make mistakes on a daily basis, but I still put one foot forward and still do the best that I can. And that hit me because I'm like that. I can relate to that. I have made many mistakes growing up. We all have made mistakes. None of us are perfect. But that's the beauty about Superman, because this one, even though he is what a lot of people see in a lot of comic books, basically a god amongst mortals, he's still one of the most compassionate superheroes out there. And I feel like this movie got that right. It restored the hope. It restored the heart of who Superman was, because he never lost it. It's just that with, depending on the times that you see, like hell, the Snyderverse movies of Superman, he had heart, but this one felt different, almost genuine. And I'm not saying that the Snyderverse version of Superman is bad. No. Don't get me wrong. The Snyderverse versions of a lot of movies that came out during that time period were 50-50. But in my opinion, this one felt different. And that's a good thing. Honestly, if this is what James Gunn has to bring to the table, because we already saw a couple of his things already. We saw the Creature Commandos. We saw Peacemaker. We're getting season 2 of Peacemaker, and I saw the preview for that in Superman, so that looks like that's going to be worth it, as well as other things down the road that he has planned. And I'm looking forward to it. And this feels like it actually restored hope for the cinematic universe of DC. Because don't get me wrong, it had its ups and it's had some downs. It's in the most recent history, I feel like it had a lot of downs, but it was still trying to find its footing, especially when you have Marvel on the other side of the coin doing relatively great numbers at the time. I'm undercutting it a lot, yeah, I get that. But in my opinion, this is a good fresh start. The cast were great, the supporting characters, they even managed to get Guy Gardner's crazy ass almost down to a T, and the actor that they got for him was perfect in my opinion. In fact, every actor that they got for the movie did very well. And to see a good adaptation of Mr. Terrific, he even had the fair play jacket. Sorry. But all in all, I love the movie for what it was. I love the characters that they had. I love the story that they were telling. I know I said I wouldn't spoil anything, but I think my favorite part has to be the part where him and Lois are just sitting in the apartment and he's talking, and you just see in the background the Justice Gang, because that's what they call themselves right now. They're still patenting a name at the time of the movie, but yeah, the Justice Gang was just sitting there fighting like this giant blob creature while Superman is just sitting there just in his thoughts, just like, what do I do? And even Lois points over like, what's that? He said, oh, it's an intergalactic, like interdimensional creature. She said, aren't you going to help them? He said, they got it. But like I said, stuff like that I actually find really cool, because it goes to show you just the kind of stuff that you would see normally in that kind of world. And it was so casual. He's like, oh, right, they got it. But all in all, I enjoyed the movie. I loved everything that I saw. And like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was good. A lot of people hated on this one. A lot of people, like I said, that are chronically online, that think they know comic book movies or think they know superheroes, that they don't. But I'm not here to bash them. I'm not here to shun them, because it's not what I do here. If anything, I say go actually figure out who Superman really is. He's a good person. Always has been. Always will be. It's okay. Being good is not that hard. I mean, yes, it's difficult, but the thing that I love about Superman is he's strong enough to be kind and be gentle to help, because he cares about all life. And everybody keeps thinking he's a Boy Scout. Well, that really a bad thing? Take it easy. Oh, forgive me. After I did all the editing, I thought I'd just come and relax. Didn't realize I kind of drifted. But if you're new here, why don't you subscribe? I have a lot of new content coming down the road. But if you've been here before, here's a random playlist of something I've done, and the most recent thing I've done here too. Take care.